Have you ever wondered why two people can earn the exact same salary, but one ends up financially free while the other is constantly stressed about money? How can two people play with the same deck of cards, but end up with completely different results? The truth is, it's not about how smart you are, it's about how you think about money. And that's exactly what Morgan Housel's The Psychology of Money is all about. This book reveals why behavior, emotions, and habits matter more than intelligence when it comes to building wealth. Stick with me until the end, because I'll share one mindset shift from this book that could literally change the way you handle money forever. Now, here's the first big idea. No one is crazy when it comes to money. Sounds strange, right? But think about it. Our money decisions are shaped by our experiences. If you grew up during a financial crisis, you probably see investing as scary. If you grew up during a booming economy, you might see it as normal. What looks irrational to someone else might make perfect sense to you, because we're all carrying different stories about money. So instead of judging, the real lesson is, respect that people are making decisions based on their unique past. Let's move to another fascinating lesson: luck and risk. We love to believe success is all about hard work, but Housel shows us how luck plays a bigger role than we think. Take Bill Gates. Yes, he was brilliant, but he also happened to be in the right place at the right time with access to one of the few high school computers in the 1970s. That's luck. But the opposite is also true: risk. Someone equally smart might fail because of circumstances out of their control. So what's the takeaway? Be humble with your success, and compassionate with failure. And always, always respect risk. Here's another idea that really hit me: never enough. Think about it. How many stories have you heard of wealthy people who lose it all because they couldn't stop chasing just a little more? We live in a culture that constantly pushes us to upgrade: more money, bigger house, nicer car. But the truth is, if you don't know what enough looks like, you'll never feel satisfied, no matter how much you earn. And sometimes, the pursuit of more is what destroys everything. So ask yourself, what's your definition of enough? Now, let's talk about compounding, the most powerful, yet underrated force in finance. Everyone admires Warren Buffett for his investing genius, but here's the shocking truth: the majority of his wealth came after he turned 65. Why? Because compounding is slow at first, but it explodes over time. The earlier you start, the bigger the snowball gets. It's not about finding the hottest stock, it's about giving your money decades to grow. But here's the tricky part: getting wealthy and staying wealthy are two very different games. To get wealthy, you need to take risks, make bold moves, and bet on opportunities. But to stay wealthy, you need humility, caution, and the discipline to protect what you have. If you keep playing the get rich game forever, you'll eventually lose. The balance? Save like a pessimist, because bad times will come, but invest like an optimist, because over the long run, things do get better. And what's the point of all this money anyway? Freedom. Real wealth isn't about showing off. It's not the luxury car or the designer watch. It's waking up and saying, I can do whatever I want today. Money buys happiness only when it buys back your time. That's the real end goal, control over your life. So how do you get there? Start with saving money. And here's the twist. You don't need a reason to save. Just save. It gives you options. It gives you security. It gives you peace of mind. Most people obsess about investment returns, but here's the reality. Your savings rate matters way more. You can't control the market, but you can control how much you keep. Another brilliant idea from the book is that tails drive everything. In investing, a tiny percentage of events, so-called tail events, create the majority of returns. Think about Amazon. They tried thousands of products, most of which failed. But a handful, like AWS, made the company worth over $1 trillion. The same applies to investing. Most of your returns will come from a few big winners. The key is to stay invested long enough to catch them. So what's the big picture here? Money is less about math and more about psychology. It's not about making perfect decisions, it's about avoiding disastrous ones. Wealth isn't built by being a genius, it's built by being consistent. Define what enough means for you, save diligently, respect luck and risk, and let compounding work its magic. And here's that mindset shift I promised at the beginning. Stop thinking about money as a way to buy things, and start thinking about money as a way to buy time. Because at the end of the day, freedom, not stuff, is the ultimate form of wealth. If this breakdown of the psychology of money gave you new insights, imagine what will happen when you actually apply these lessons to your own life. So start today. Decide your enough, save more than you spend, and give your money time to grow. And before you go, hit that like button, subscribe for more life-changing financial lessons, and share this video with someone who needs a shift in their money mindset. Your financial freedom doesn't start with money, it starts with psychology.